Hey guys, it's Meerah. I started playing Final Fantasy XIV on May 24th, 2022, and being a Sprout is super fun, but a bit confusing at times, so I'm making this little series of video guides based on the things I've been learning as a new player. Today's episode is about the Aethernet. What is it? How does it work? Etc, etc. This is going to be a short one because the answer is relatively simple. The Aethernet is the network of Aetherite crystals that the people of Eorzea use to teleport from one location to another. It's the fast travel in Final Fantasy XIV. When you first arrive on a new map, one of the first things you should be doing is looking for, finding, and attuning to the Aetherite crystal so that you can teleport there in the future. Or if you die, you can teleport back. In cities, there's like these little mini Aetherite crystals that help you transport around the city a lot faster, and those are free, but the big ones do cost gil to use. They seem really expensive for new players, but just do your main story and your job quest lines and you'll have plenty of gil in no time. The further away an Aetherite crystal is from your current location, the higher the gil cost is to teleport. You can also set the big crystals, or at least one of the big crystals, as a home point. So if you have a specific city or map you spend a lot of time on and you want free teleports back to, this is the one you should be setting as your home point. And to teleport back to that home point, you just hit the return button. This one here. It's a spell you cast, and it teleports you back to that point for free, which is super nice. It has a cooldown, but it's really useful, I think, still. This episode is about quests. What do all these icons mean? What quests should I be prioritizing? What's important? And what kinds of quests are there? These are all the questions I had when I first started, so I'm gonna be just doing a very basic, quick rundown on the different type of quests in Final Fantasy XIV. So quests are a staple of most MMOs, and Final Fantasy XIV is no different. You have a separate level up system for your main story questline and for all your different job quest lines. But then you also have like side quests, Grand Company quests, and quests that unlock stuff. The main story quests are arguably the most important due to the insane amount of EXP that they give, but also because like it's the main story. It's important. Main quests are marked by the circle and flame icon over NPCs or locations. Yeah, it's so important they used the actual game logo as the main quest icon. I love it. I'm so here for it. Job quests, Grand Company quests, and side quests that can unlock things such as glamour, dungeons, etc. are all marked with the same symbol. It's a blue speech bubble icon with like a little plus sign in the bottom corner here. Job quests are the second most important quest that you should be doing. They also give a ton of EXP, and they unlock new abilities for your profession, so you should be doing them. Every profession has a separate job quest line, even the crafting ones, and it's super worth it to do them. Did I mention they pay gil as well? Yeah, they pay you. It's great. Company quests are marked by the same icon. These quests will also give you EXP, but also company seals, which can be used for like gear, materials, or for promotions, which is really nice. And then the unlockable quests are like the ones you get from Mutamix for melding, Ned for dungeons, so on and so forth. As you level, certain parts of the game will be unlockable, and these quests are how you unlock those certain aspects of the game. And side quests are just marked by the gold speech bubble, but if you're leveling an alt character, side quests are a really good way to do it. This episode is about duty. I know you laughed at that, you little shit. Duty support, duty finder, and duty roulette. What do these things mean, and should you be using them? So once you hit like level 16, I think, the game will start unlocking dungeons, and instead of jobs or mission, the game calls these and other instanced battles within the storyline duty. You can queue up in a duty finder if you want to go into a specific dungeon with actual people, or if you're feeling antisocial like I do a lot of the time, you can use duty support, this button right here. It will assign you AI party members and will fill whichever roles you aren't. So like I play a healer, and so duty support AIs are always going to be a tank and a couple of DPS. I really like that your role doesn't change whether you use AI or real people. Like, I still heal the tank in between DPSing the mobs as a healer, whether I'm in duty support, duty finder, or duty roulette. Duty Roulette is something you unlock past level 16 after you've completed the first 2 dungeons in the main storyline. Duty Roulette is super good for leveling, and I believe you get more unlocked as you level, but if you're like under 50, like I am right now, you get 1 a day. Roulette puts you in a random dungeon with other players, and I personally find it really fun, even though I'm not super social. You don't really have to talk to anyone, most people just want to get in, do their dailies, and get out, you know? That is what Duty, Support, Finder, and Roulette all mean in Final Fantasy XIV. This is just like the bare bones, super basic. Today's episode is about the loot system in dungeons. What the heck is this need greed pass thingy? Why does it keep asking me to cast my lot? I'm so confused. What is going on? Okay, well, when you do dungeons with other actual human players instead of duty support, there's a different loot system. After you've found a treasure coffer, there will be a little menu pop up that shows you the loot in that chest, and then 3 choices: need, greed, and pass. If you're rushing forward and don't check the chest because the tank isn't paying attention to the party and just barrels ahead like the battering ram that they are, no worries. There's also this little pop-up window to the bottom right of your screen that says loot. Clicking on it gives you the same menu as if you were just standing right in front of the chest. So you can keep chasing that tank while also deciding what to do about the loot. So you can choose need if you really need the item and just want to take it. Greed is if you want the item but you want to give other people an equal chance to get it as well. Greed is the option that casts your lot for a specific item. So what happens is that you and whoever else casts the lot for that item will get a roll from like invisible dice, and whoever rolls the highest number gets the item, basically. It's a lot like D&D when the party can't decide who should get a rare drop. And pass is kind of obvious, it's just like, you know, you don't want the item and so you pass. Today's episode is about player commendations. What are they? How do I get them? How do I give them to someone else? And what are they for? So when you join a dungeon or a raid or a trial or whatever, through the duty finder, at the end you will have the option to give one other player in the party a commendation. It'll be a pop-up in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen right above the loot pop-up. You can only select party members who haven't left the instance already, so if everyone has already left, then well, that sucks. Come back here and let me give you a commendation, you coward! Most players will always give commendations to their fellow party members. You can give a commendation to anyone but yourself as long as they're still in the instance. So if someone's been like overly helpful, you can give them a commendation. It's a really cool system. You can get special rewards for commendations. 10 gives you a title, 50 gives you a minion, 100 gives you a special helm, 300 gives you a chocobo barding, 500 gives you a special mount, 1500 gives you a special chest piece, and 3000 gives you another mount. So yeah, give each other commendations. It's the nice thing to do. Today's episode is about grand companies. What are they, which one should you join, and what do you get out of it? The grand companies are the 3 factions based out of the 3 different starting cities. Lemza has the Maelstrom, a guild that is navy-focused and maritime themed, made up of pirates. Gridania has the Order of the Twin Adders, which is a guild themed more around nature and is made up of mages. And then Ul'dah has the Immortal Flame, which are more militarily focused and made up of mercenaries. You can choose to join one of these grand companies, which will unlock a new questline that follows your work for that specific grand company. You can accept special guild levies or provisional and crafting missions, which give seals and a crap ton of experience points related to the specific job required to finish the mission. You can use seals for a variety of things, from getting promotions to unlocking your first mount, the chocobo. I really enjoy doing the provision and the crafting missions every day just for the experience points. There's also a special hunting log for your grand company where you can get seals and rewards for killing an amount of a specific mob, usually no more than like 5. The hunting log doesn't feel grindy to me, it's more about like exploration, and I find it really fun actually. They do make a point of saying several times in the story that this choice isn't set in stone. Later on, once you hit a certain rank within your grand company, you can choose to transfer to one of the other 2, if you want, and I really like that. You also, like, don't have to join the grand company that's in the city you started in. So I started in Lemza, but I joined the Twin Adders because I'm a mage and I thought it would go better with my character. So yeah, there's a lot of, like, customization and player choice in Final Fantasy, and I really like that. It's nice. Today's episode is about mounts. How do you get your first mount? What's this about flying mounts? Which mounts can you get at low level? Let's freaking go. Let's do this. So to get your first mount, you need to be level 20 and have chosen your Grand Company. This is part of the main quest line, so you'll hit it eventually. Once you've done that, you should be able to accept a quest called Mile of Chocobo. You collect 200 seals from your specific company and exchange them for a mount license, which you then turn in to the quest giver, and they will reward you with a whistle. This whistle and any future whistles you get unlock the mount and give you the ability to summon your new buddy. I like to put all of my mounts on my hotbar here. So you get your Chocobo at level 20, and if you play a Conjurer, you can get a Unicorn at level 30, and if you complete a Realm Reborn, you get the Magitech Reaper armor at level 50. Level 50 and after completing a Realm Reborn is also when you unlock flying. Yes, all your mounts can fly. To lift off, you just hit spacebar, and to descend, you just hit the Z key. So, you've unlocked your Chocobo mount. You love her. She is amazing. But maybe she's tired of running all the time, or maybe you just want a different mount so you can give your Chocobuddy a break every now and then, you know? But you've just started playing, so you're not sure where or how to acquire such a mount. A lot of the really cool unlockable mounts aren't available until later in the game, but the great almighty god Enix has blessed me, and there is a mount you can get pretty early in the game, and it's a unicorn with a really pretty blue mane and particle effects. And eventually, after you finish a Realm Reborn, your unicorn can fly. Actually, all the mounts can. I think it has to do with map completion, which I think is really cool. Oh, but there's more. That's not it. You get to do a quest for this unicorn. It's a really short quest, but it's super well written, and it's actually really sweet. I appreciate when games give me quests or something like story related or sentimental, along with like a rare item drop or a pet or a mount that you've unlocked or something like that. It gets me like more emotionally invested, and it's what keeps me playing the game for a long time. The best example I can think of this would be like Guild Wars 2 and the Skyscale mount. So to get this super amazing mount, all you have to do is level a Conjurer to 30. Once you get to 30, don't equip that Jobstone just yet, because only Conjurers can accept this quest, not White Mages. So as soon as you turn 30 and don't have your Jobstone equipped, an NPC at the Conjurers Guild in Gridania will have a quest for you called Unicorn Power. I think the NPC's name is Briah. She just has you go out, find an unknown injured animal, use Cure on it, and then return to her to report. When you get back to her and you're like, oh yeah, it was a unicorn, she'll say that it's super rare that a unicorn would trust a human enough to let it heal it, and that we should feel very blessed. And I do feel blessed. And then she gives you a whistle. You use the whistle just like you used your Chocobo whistle to unlock that, and ta-da! You now have a unicorn. She's so pretty, and I love her. I don't know how many newer players, or maybe even veteran players, like, know that this mount is, like, available to you. I mean, if you can get to level 30 in the first day, you can get this mount, you know? I got it after a few days because I've been taking my time with the game, so it took me a bit longer than it might take others, but I hope this was helpful in some way, whether you're a sprout or a veteran. Today's episode is about levies. I think that's how it's pronounced. What is a levy? What are the different kinds of levies? And what is the point of doing them? So levies, please don't come for me if I'm pronouncing that wrong, are repeatable quests you can accept from NPCs in various locations around Eorzea. You can tell if an NPC is a levy mate because they have a special rectangular icon above their heads. There are different kinds of levies. There's battle levies, which are combat related, meant for disciples of war or magic. Tradecraft levies, which are meant for the disciples of the hand or your crafting professions. And fieldcraft levies, which are for disciples of the land and or gathering professions. Battlecraft levies do have a time limit. I'm not sure about the other ones. Levies are really good EXP, Gil, and after you join your Grand Company, if you accept levies from specific, like, guild levy NPCs, you can get company seals. Finding a wanted target or a treasure coffer during these battle levies also gives you extra rewards, as well as completing the levy super fast gives you a bonus. Levies can be super useful for leveling your alt jobs, since there's levy mates, I think for like every 5 levels. I'll put a link to a guide to all the levy mate locations and their levels in the description. You can accept a limited number of levies at a time. 16 is the current limit I have. I don't know if that's the permanent one, but it's just what I have. And each day you get a 3 levy allowance. I think it's like every 12 hours that refreshes. But those do stack. So like as you can see, I currently can do 57 levies before my allowance for levies runs out. Once you accept a levy quest, you need to click on it on your quest sidebar and then click the initiate button to actually start the quest and the timer. This will also place green circles and gray rectangles on your minimap to mark target locations and target mobs. Complete the levy within the time period and it will teleport you back to the levy mate where you can collect your reward. Easy peasy. Today's episode is about Disciples of the Land. What are Disciples of the Land? How many different professions are there? Or what do they do? Disciples of the Land are the gathering professions in Final Fantasy XIV. DOL jobs have their own special armor, their own special main and offhand weapons, and there's 3 different DOL jobs: Botanist, Miner, and Fisher. Botanist uses a hatchet as a main hand and a scythe as an offhand. Miner uses a pickaxe main hand and sledgehammer offhand. And Fisher uses a fishing rod main hand, and eventually I think they get a spear gun as an offhand. Botanist and Miner are very similar. They have the same mechanics, but you just harvest different nodes. After you level up a bit, you get a sneak ability, which makes you invisible to mobs within a certain level range of your character, and it's really handy. I really like it. Botanists harvest trees and bushes, and miners harvest mineral deposits and rocky outcrops. Using the Lay of the Land skill will point you in the right direction of the decent nodes on your map. Perception is really important for these 2 jobs because the better your perception, the further away you can detect harvesting nodes on your minimap. Once you find a node, it'll sparkle once you get in render distance, and you just right-click on it to harvest it. This will show you the list of materials that you can get from that node and the percentage chance you have to successfully harvest it. The percentage number goes up as you level up, so if something isn't 100, you can either use a skill or you can wait until you're higher level to harvest it. Once you've harvested something once, you can then quick gather it, which will auto swing the 4 times instead of giving you the choice after every swing. Mining works exactly the same way. Fisher is a bit different from the other 2 DOL jobs. You use bait that you can buy at vendors or craft and can fish anywhere that there's enough water pretty much. You use your cast skill, wait until you see these exclamation marks, and then your hook skill to reel in the fish. Today's episode is about Disciples of the Hand. What are they? How many are they? And what can they do? Disciples of the Hand are the crafting professions in Final Fantasy XIV. They are a carpenter, blacksmith, armorer, weaver, leatherworker, goldsmith, alchemist, and culinarian. Each of these jobs has the same layout. You use N to open the crafting menu. Once you've unlocked the job, you can pick what you want to craft, and it'll say here if you have enough of the materials needed, and then you click synthesize. Usually you want to get the blue bar as full as you can because it increases your chances of getting a high quality item which is worth more and is necessary for some of your crafting questline. But be careful not to run out of crafting points or out of attempts. Each attempt, regardless, if you increase your progress or increase your quality, costs 10 points. Certain objects like refined materials such as ingots and lumber have 40 points to start. More complex items like armor pieces get more points, like usually 70 to 80. How much the bar fills per swing depends on your level and increases as you level up, so lower level items will be much faster and easier to craft if you're a higher level. Much like with Disciples of the Land, there's a quick synthesis option after you've successfully crafted something once, so you can craft multiple items quickly. These jobs are handy, each in their own way. You can craft your own weapons, armor, accessories, outfits, buffs, healing potions, ethers. You can craft your own decorations for your house. You can craft minions and mounts in some cases. They all use the same armor and accessories, but not tools. Each job has its own main hand as I go along. Today's episode is going to be about Materia. What is Materia? How can you learn about it? How do you get it? Do you have to have the marketplace? What about if you're on a trial character? All these things were questions that I had. So once you hit level 20 on any given crafting profession or a Disciple of the Hand profession in Final Fantasy XIV, you'll most likely be given a quest that has you making an item that's enhanced with Materia. But basically it's an extra stat you can add onto your equipment that customizes things a little bit more to your playstyle. So to learn about Materia, the crafting quest lines will most likely nudge you in the direction of a few NPCs. The exact coordinates are on the screen now and in the description below, but the closest closest Aetherite teleportation crystal. It's going to be Black Brush Station. The NPCs there should give you quests to unlock Materia Help and Materia Extraction called Forging the Spirit by Swinbros and Waking the Spirit by Phobos. You need to be a level 19 or above on a Disciple of the Hand profession, these are the crafting ones, to accept and complete the Waking the Spirit quest. You can, however, be on any class to accept the Forging the Spirit quest and for the quest that comes after that. At level 25, if you completed the first 2 quests, you can unlock another quest called Melding Materia Muchly from the Goblin at the Bonfire Mutimix. You meld 8 materia in front of him and he unlocks advanced materia melding for you. So materia builds up on items that you carry with you for a while. So the best source of materia I found for me personally are like my accessories and my crafting gear. Once a piece becomes 100% spirit bound to you, it'll give you the option to extract materia, which will reduce the spirit boundness by 1% and give us a materia crystal that we can then meld into whatever piece of equipment we want. Now, the internet told me that the best way to get materia was to buy it from the marketplace, and yes, you can 100% do that, but I am on a trial character, so I personally cannot do that. Trial characters can't use the marketplace, and so this is how I got my materia to finish my level 20 job quests, was from my own gear. And to meld it onto another gear, you just literally click meld on the gear, same way you extracted it. You can do this anytime, anywhere. It does not cost anything. Right. This video is gonna be about glamours. What the heck is a glamour? How do I use it? And how do I dye things? So the glamour system is basically how you change the appearance of armor to look like another piece of armor. Much like outfits or costumes or transmog or whatever in other MMOs. You unlock glamours by being level 15 and accepting a couple quests from the NPC Swirgheim. Coordinates are up on the screen now or in the description below, but the quests that unlock glamour related things are called If I Had a Glamour and Absolutely Glamorous. For the first, you can be level 15 on a new class, but the second one requires level 15 on a Disciple of the Hand class, which is the crafting classes in Final Fantasy XIV. You can glamour individual items to look like other items using glamour crystals. This can be done from anywhere at any time, with the only cost being actual glamour crystals, which you can get from quests or you can learn to craft. The other option is to use the armoire and the glamour dresser in the inn or in your house to make glamour plates. To do this, you just deposit items that you only want to use for their appearance into the armoire, and then you can use those items to make a glamour plate or a template that you can apply to any set of armor whenever, wherever. It's super nice. Oh, dyeing things. Works a lot like glamour. You just need the dye in your inventory. You can buy them for gil from NPCs in each of the 3 starting cities, or you get them as quest rewards. To unlock dyeing, you also need to be level 15 on any class and accept the side quest Color Your World from the same NPC, same person we did the glamours through. There's a second quest with the same prerequisites called Simply to Die For that unlocks dyeing relics, which can be done through an NPC called Kakalan. So to dye something, you right click it, click dye, it'll show you which dyes you have in your inventory you can use, and then you just use it. It's really simple. I know that by using the glamour dresser and plates, you only have to dye things like once, but honestly I'm still kind of figuring plates out. I got one set up and I've been using it so far and it's pretty nice. So yeah, that's just the super basics about glamours and dyes in Final Fantasy XIV. I hope that this was helpful. I'm having a blast playing the game so far and I cannot wait to experience more. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.